Hi, Andrew Bell here with a market update and insight for you. It's hard to believe that we're already in August, and we're definitely at the top of that slippery slide with a quick ride to the end of the year, only a couple of months away. Now, no doubt we've got some bumpy times ahead, as there are some clear signs that the economy is slowing substantially, but hopefully we're going to avoid a recession. Businesses across the board are certainly reporting a substantial change in consumer spending. No surprise when we see the new research from Roy Morgan showing that an estimated 1.43 million Australians are now at risk of mortgage stress. That's 28.7% of all mortgage holders in the country. The somewhat good news on that front is that we see that to a large degree homeowners have been covering the higher interest rates through some modest gains in property values. That means, from a net point of view, most people are affected largely from a cash flow perspective and not from reduced net wealth. But the reality is that for so many people, they're facing the challenge of paying their bills on a monthly basis because of the increased interest rates and, of course, the increased cost of living. And it's drained all their savings. But they're also finding themselves in this negative cash flow situation week to week. The big question is, how long will interest rates stay at these high levels? Now, we're certainly recording a substantial increase in the number of people calling for us to come in and appraise their properties, stating that they're looking to sell because of the financial stress. Increased volumes of stock on the market will certainly change the balance of supply and demand, and that will have an impact on property prices. Another interesting fact in the market has been the impact of downsizers over the past couple of years. So many downsizers have been selling properties in the places like Sydney and Melbourne and so on for around $4 and $5 million, and then buying here on the Gold Coast for cash. Because whilst they are making their move to the Gold Coast, they're also retiring from work and don't want a mortgage. Approximately a quarter of all the sales in 2022 in suburbs like Broadbeach and Surfers Paradise were to people with no mortgage whatsoever. Obviously, they're not affected by the higher interest rates, and it does put a stronger platform in the real estate market. As such, a large percentage of people will never be under any mortgage stress and will never be forced to sell their homes. It's a really strong platform. We'd love to think that with the past 2 consecutive months of interest rates being on hold, that it's a sign that we've reached the top of the interest rate cycle. But we can't be sure that's the case. The pause is to keep a finger on the pulse. And the most prominent driver of interest rates is the inflation level, which, whilst having come down, is also showing that the drop has come within certain components that measures inflation. Now, whilst it's great to see those dropping, many of the other factors that make up the index for inflation are not showing any drop at all. So the Reserve Bank will be looking for yet another significant decline in inflation before they call it time on interest rate rises. Remember, the target band for inflation is between 2 and 3%. At the moment, we're still over 6%. It's quite a way to go. At the moment, the best case scenario would be for interest rates to remain on hold with no further increases. But whilst that would be good news, the bigger issue is still how long will interest rates stay up at these high levels? Because that is what's causing the pain. Now, just to show how flighty consumer confidence is, off the back of no interest rate rise in July, we saw the ANZ Roy Morgan Consumer Confidence Index jump 3.2 points to 78.4, which was the biggest 2-week jump in consumer confidence since April 2020. It wasn't so much about there being no increase in interest rates, but it was about a degree of optimism around the fact that inflation had declined. That survey was done before the last week's announcement of no further interest rate rise as well, so it's probable that consumer confidence will pick up a little further. However, we know how fickle consumer confidence is, and it can rise and fall on any press release on any given day. With all of this in mind, no wonder we're seeing an increased number of sellers concerned about the real estate values moving forward. Increased numbers believe that with interest rates staying at high levels as they are for as long as they have, and with quite a way to go, that there'll be a substantial increase in the number of forced sellers coming to the market, and that'll put downward pressure on prices. So they're capitalising on the current market, which has seen an incredible success rate by experienced auction real estate companies, achieving results not dissimilar to the real estate boom, with over 90% of properties selling within agency period, and with on average 4.5 bidders per auction. We here at Ray White Surfers Paradise Group, which has always been the benchmark of auctions on the Gold Coast, have put together our annual spring auction event, which capitalises on the incredibly strong annual spring season and gives added profile to the properties that we're selling by auction, which just can't be provided by any other real estate company. If you'd like to take advantage of the current market as an insurance policy against any drop in property values, our details are on screen now on how to obtain more information about the spring auction event. And can I say, we're only 3 weeks away from our amazing Ray White Surfers Paradise Muscular Dystrophy Ball. We would truly love to see you there. It's the longest running charity ball on the Gold Coast, and it's become an iconic event here on the Gold Coast. There's a fabulous French theme with some incredible matching entertainment and a Moulin Rouge performance. Don't put it off. Pick up the phone now and contact our event coordinator to be part of the night. Whether you come on your own, or come with a partner, or come with friends, or take a whole table. It's a wonderful night and you enjoy it whilst raising money to help the children which are affected by this terrible muscular dystrophy disease. Well, that's it for this fortnight. I look forward to being back with you in 2 weeks' time.